is Vermilion's full-service Aveda salon and spa, located in the heart of historic downtown Vermilion.
Coming up on Coyote News, voters can expect to see 2 marijuana-related measures on the ballot in South Dakota.
Plus, a behind-the-scenes look at making a choir concert virtual. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Hi, I'm Aaliyah Burgraff.
And I'm Kyle Ireland. We'll get to those stories and more. But first, a breaking news COVID update. After 40 new active cases, nearly triple the amount from 2 weeks ago, the USD COVID-19 Task Force released a statement saying students should double down on their efforts to help flatten the curve. The community spread of COVID in Clay County is considered substantial. The current number of COVID cases in South Dakota has passed the 8,000 mark. Purdue Pharma, the company responsible for the creation of the super powerful, highly addictive painkiller OxyContin, pled guilty to 3 federal charges this morning as part of a settlement worth more than $8 billion. The charges include conspiracy to defraud the United States, as well as being held accountable for starting the ongoing opioid epidemic. This deal doesn't release any of the company's executives or owners and members of the Sackler family, all of whom are under a criminal investigation of their own. The opioid epidemic and overdose crisis is linked to more than 470,000 deaths in the U.S. in just the last 20 years.
In addition to choosing a random selection of students and faculty, USD's Sentinel testing program is allowing up to 100 volunteers per week to get tested for COVID-19. The test is available to anyone who qualifies for free. Anyone is eligible for testing if they are currently asymptomatic, have not had a positive test within the past 90 days, and normally work or attend school on the Vermilion campus. To find out if you have COVID, go to Stanford's drive-through testing in Vermilion on Tuesday or Wednesday afternoons between 2 and 3:30. You can get a ride to and from your test from a shuttle service outside of Slagle Hall. If you didn't register to vote in the state of South Dakota by Monday, you officially can't vote in the 2020 presidential election on November 3rd. If you are registered to vote in South Dakota, the state has a number of ballot issues to be decided. They include 2 bills that would legalize the medical and recreational use of marijuana. Coyote News' Sierra Prue is live in the muck with the director of Get Out the Yote to learn more about what's on the ballot. Sierra?
Thank you, Aaliyah. I am here live in the muck with Addison Miller, director of Get Out and Yote. Addison, thank you so much for being here today. So the main thing on campus right now is registering to vote, getting out there and being able to vote. So tell me, why? Why should we vote?
Absolutely. So the number one reason is right. I mean, it's because we don't. Oftentimes, youth our age just don't vote, and for that reason, a lot of the issues that we take very, very seriously aren't as taken seriously on the national stage. I mean, for example, climate change. Climate change is very important to people our age, but it's not as taken seriously as Medicare, which is more important to people that are middle age and older, just because they vote more. So if the issues we care about want to be on the table, then we have to get out there and vote, so the politicians pander to us as well.
Awesome. And I guess people are really focused on the presidency, right? But here in South Dakota, there's this thing called down ballots. So explain to me what a down ballot is and why it's important to know about down ballots.
Sure. So down ballot candidates down ballot races as a whole are anything basically other than the president, and sometimes the representative and senator slots. Basically anything that isn't widely known and widely just kind of not at the top of the ticket, the voting ballot, that's a down ballot race. And here in South Dakota, we have state Senate, state House, U.S. Representative, U.S. Senator, and then ballot initiatives. Like this year's AN 26, which would legalize marijuana. Then we also have an initiated measure, which would call for it would enact sports betting in Deadwood. And those are all really important too, because while the presidency is absolutely important, you should go out there and vote for the candidate that you believe in. You should also be voting for those down ballot candidates because, for example, state Senate, state House, these people are directly legislating for you at the state level, and they're going to make changes that you will see, your neighbors will see, and you will feel on a daily basis.
Yes,
a lot more.
And here at USD, we are all at that age to have a voice. That's one of the main messages, and people 18 to 24 tend to be more progressive in bills and incentives that are becoming more open to us, more reasons why we should. And some of those reasons are in the legislation right now. And I wanted to talk about Amendment B. So explain to me what Amendment B is specifically.
Amendment B would be the sports betting. Amendment B is sports betting in Deadwoods. I mean, that's something I'm still deciding my own personal opinion on, but that doesn't matter here, right? That one I'm still kind of analyzing. That Amendment B, if I'm not incorrect, is sports betting, which basically would allow for gambling in Deadwood, South Dakota, in the same way that like gambling is illegal nationwide, but like in Vegas, it's fine. It'd be the same thing here, like illegal in South Dakota, but allowed in this one specific spot.
Yes, and currently 14 states have legal sports wagering, and 12 states have active legislation. We are one of those, and that would allow students 21 and up to start sports betting, which might be a reason to go out there and vote, right?
Absolutely.
All right,
absolutely.
and what about Amendment A26?
Amendment A26 would amend the Constitution and the laws of our state to allow for marijuana legalization recreationally and medically. Your opinion on that is yours, and I'm not going to speak on that, but that's also a really, really big initiative that could make that could make national history in that sense by legalizing both at the same time. So that's another reason to go out and vote if you do vote yes or no, whatever that may be.
Exactly, and that would allow students 21 and up to purchase up to an ounce of marijuana legally. That's something big. That's something that many students might want to vote on.
Absolutely.
All right, so what initiatives has the U.S. taken to help voters go out there and vote, especially in a national pandemic?
Has the state taken or have we taken on campus?
How is the state? How can people go out there and vote in a national pandemic?
So you can early vote right here, right now. You can register to vote in Vermilion, in Clay County, and et cetera, but you can also register to vote in your home location, whether that be in a different state or otherwise. And then, you can register, you can early vote at any point, whether that be in the Clay County Courthouse right now or on Election Day on November 3rd. You can absentee vote through your county auditor. There's a number of ways that you can vote already before the Election Day and continue to feel like civil duty.
Thank you so much, Addison. Again, don't forget, voting takes place here November 3rd. I am Sierra Prue, live in the muck. Back to you.
Thanks, Sierra. So, Kyle, parts of the state in this past beginning of the week were hit with snow, other parts were hit with rain. What can we see going forward?
Well, Leah, we're about to see some rain and maybe in our true first snowfall this weekend. Right now, it's 46 degrees outside. Our low for tonight's going to dip down into 38. We're going to see more rain starting early tomorrow morning and a high of just into the 40s and a low of 27. Going into the weekend, we'll see a high in the upper 30s with no precipitation. The weekend's going to bring even colder temperatures with lows dipping down into the lower teens, as well as a 50% chance of snow on Sunday. Snow does have the tendency to make road conditions unfit for driving. If you plan to travel this weekend, you can check your local radar to see if the roads are safe. And that's all for your Coyote weather.
Thanks, Kyle. Coming up on Coyote News, a look into making a virtual choir concert.
I like shooting live because you have a greater responsibility. You get to go out, get hands-on experience in the field, and you know it's leading you to something great for the future. I really like the teamwork and being able to communicate with people. We all know what jobs we're supposed to be doing, and we all know what needs to get done. There's something about being live outside of the studio. Being on your own, it's just a different energy. I like being part of a team and working together to get the perfect interview. I think it's worth it from all the experience and all the skills you're going to get from it. It definitely helps you break down some barriers and opens you up to new experiences.
Lately, you might have seen one of these red stands around campus and wondered, hey, what's the Volant? Well, actually, it's pronounced the Volant. We've served as the student's voice since 1887. We capture the moments and the stories that matter and bring them to you for free on both digital and print platforms. News, verb, sports, opinion. It's important to you, it's important to us, because, well, we're one and the same. We're the Volant. Pick us up.
This is Coyote News.
Last summer, potential students could only visit USD's campus through a screen with a virtual tour. When the fall semester began, admissions got a chance to restart their visiting program. Coyote Visit Days is a way for incoming freshmen and their parents to get information about USD.
On August 3rd, we were able to bring back in-person campus visits, and that has allowed us the opportunity to host students back on campus, show them what it actually looks like here on campus. And recently, we've introduced Coyote Visit Days, which is a larger group program.
Different departments and non-classroom activities were presented to potential future students to show what USD has to offer. After the presentations, there was a walking tour around campus. Mark Petty stated that this year's enrollment has gone down compared to last year, but Coyote Visit Days is a way to bring more potential students on campus.
Normally, USD Choral ensembles use one of the university's recital halls for their performances, but that's changed with social distancing this fall semester. This year's concert has been moved to an online format. Students have been using whatever devices they have to record their parts of the songs to help with the video. Student coaches are helping the members practice their parts for the performance.
Whether it's figuring out the notes or just trying to figure out live, we try to schedule different Zoom meetings so that we really build as a group even though we're not together.
You can live stream the choir's finished show at 3 Sunday afternoon. The concert will only be viewable live because of copyright restrictions and won't be available on demand after the performance. So, Michael, I heard the intramural flag football championships are being played tonight in the Dakota Dome.
That's right, Kyle. We'll learn more about that and more next in Coyote Sports.
This is Coyote News.
Welcome back. I'm Michael Stake, and these are your Coyote Sports. Olympic officials are working on measurements to combat the COVID-19 pandemic for next year's games in Tokyo. Earlier today, Tokyo organizers for screening athletes and staff participating in the 2021 games. One measure included a temperature measuring sticker that, when placed on someone's wrist, measures the body's temperature in just a few seconds. Though all of these measures are not final, this is a glimpse into what the format for the 2021 games could look like in order to keep over 11,000 competing athletes and staff from getting exposed to the virus. The games were supposed to be held this past summer, but were postponed due to the COVID-19 and are set to be opening for July 23rd. A USD athlete is a national semifinalist for a football honor. The National Football Foundation issues Jack Cochran as a semifinalist for the William V. Campbell Trophy. The Coyote senior and middle inner linebacker is one of the 199 athletes selected. The NFF awards the honor to any colleague football player that exhibits outstanding performance on the football field, in the classroom, and in the community. Cochran is the team captain and was selected for the second Team Alley Missouri Valley Football Conference in 2019, the same year that he competed for tackles. He also holds a 4.0 GPA in the criminal justice program, completed services for the Vermillions United Way, and volunteers weekly at Brian's Closet. Cochran told the Volant, "You don't really play football or go to school for achievements, but awards like this help validate that you're doing okay." Finalists for the trophy will be named in November, with the overall winner receiving a $25,000 postgraduate scholarship and a 25-pound trophy. The newest members of the Henry Hare Coyote Sports Hall of Fame were announced earlier this month. The Hall of Fame includes players from multiple sports throughout Coyote history, including basketball players Bridget Yager and Tyler Kane, swimmer Zach Weiss, track and field Stephanie Murphy, and the retired 2005 football team coach Ed Meyer Court. The USD Hall of Fame weekend is usually held every fall, but was postponed due to COVID-19 pandemic. The class will be formally recognized in the fall of 2021. COVID-19 continues to affect many students here on campus. whether it's canceling in-person classes, study abroad opportunities, or even hanging out with friends. However, there's one activity students say hasn't really changed. Intramural flag football has been, for the most part, functioning very similarly to how it did last year. Players say this is mainly due to the fact that it takes place outside and is a no-contact sport. Peyton Mueller is a student referee for the USD Wellness Center.
It's probably about the same. I mean, we know more. This is the second year I know more, so it's easier. But there really isn't much difference for us as a game administration. Well, it's a nice little paycheck. I mean, continue to get to watch good games between these people.
The Intramural Flag Football Championship games begin tonight at 7 inside the Dakota Dome. To learn more about tonight's contest, we go back to Coyote News' Sierra Prue, live in the muck. Sierra?
Thank you, Michael. I am here live in the muck with Connor Singheisen, Assistant Director of Intramural Sports. Connor, thank you so much for being here with us today. What have intramurals looked like so far at USD, especially around a national pandemic?
So we've had to make a lot of modifications to our schedule. One of the main ones is the sports that we offer. So some of our more popular sports like basketball, some of our indoor sports that we weren't able to offer at the start of the semester due to the spike in COVID cases on campus. For the most part, a lot of our events have ran as scheduled, as it would any other year. Some of the modifications we've made so far is that when we're inside, if you're standing on the sideline, you're required to wear a mask just like you would be if you're not physically exerting yourself in the Wellness Center. Whether that's volleyball or flag football in the Dakota Dome, dodgeball, pickleball, whatever the case may be, it's all kind of the same anticipation or the same expectation that you wear a mask when you're not physically exerting yourself. Some of the other things like basketball, we haven't been allowed to open our basketball courts so far this semester, which has impacted our ability to offer basketball. We were able to push through volleyball because it's somewhat of a socially distanced sport. You're separated by a net. But a lot of our intramurals have been, our expectations have been tapered. We've had to reduce the amount of games or the team slots we've offered because the Wellness Center closes early for deep cleaning.
Great. And a lot of kids see intramural sports happening. They want to join. Why should they join?
I mean, it's sports. Most students come to college, they have some sport background. They've played sports at a time in their life. It's an awesome opportunity to recreate and maintain that social, mental, and physical well-being that you don't get when you're not playing a sport for high school or athletic purposes where you're practicing regularly, playing regularly. It's an awesome opportunity to meet other people and just have some fun.
And you know and I know that these intramural sports can get very serious. Students love to take them seriously. And have any teams impressed you this far?
So far, I think that the two teams that have impressed me the most have been our co-rec flag football teams. We haven't had a whole lot of opportunities for co-rec teams in the fall for flag football, and seeing two teams that want to go out and compete regardless of how good they are has been awesome. They always go out and have a good time.
Thank you so much, Connor. Again, you can watch the Flag Football Championship starting tonight at 7:45 in the Dakota Dome. I'm Sierra Prue, live with Coyote Sports.
Thanks, Sierra. The Vermilion Tanager football team was back in action on Friday after a COVID-related bye week. The Tanagers were able to snap their 5-game losing streak, coasting past the Dakota Valley Panthers 48-7. The win puts them on 1 game back from participating in the Class 11A playoffs. The Tanagers will play their last remaining regular season hosting Lennox tomorrow night for a chance at securing a spot in the playoffs. The South Dakota Boys and Girls State A Championships were held on Saturday and saw the number 1 and 2 seeds face off for the title. On the boys' side, the number 1 ranked Sioux Falls Christian Chargers took on the number 2 ranked T Area Titans. After a close game, it was the Chargers pulling ahead at the end of the regulation to take the victory 2-1. For the girls, the number 1 ranked West Central Trojans saw the number 2 ranked Titans. The Trojans were able to shut out the Titans, winning the contest and the championship 2-0. The conclusion of Saturday's games was the official end for the 2020 high school soccer season. And that's all for your Coyote Sports. Coming up on Coyote News, we found out which horror movie still haunts university students.
The Vermilion Area Arts Council believes the vibrant presence of the visual, performance, and literary arts is essential to a sustainable community. So come get creative at the VAC.
Gallagher Center for Experiential Learning and Education Abroad provides students once-in-a-lifetime opportunities through many of our student-centered programming.
Through the Gallagher Center, I can find experiences such as service learning, study abroad, national student exchange, and undergraduate research.
Visit our website to learn more about all the cool things you can do through the Gallagher Center.
This is Coyote News.
A lot of us may have slept with the lights on after watching a scary movie, but the memory of some of the characters may still haunt us to this day.
In this week's Out and About, we asked students about the movie that scares them the most.
Here's what they had to say.
E.T. Easy answer. Easy answer. His finger, man.
My favorite horror movie is The Conjuring, but the mom kind of messed me up.
I'm gonna say Chucky, because those haunted dolls, no thank you.
The Jason guy.
Chucky. Probably because it was like a little kid carrying a knife just running at everybody.
Chucky when I was pretty young, so maybe Chucky.
The one from Sinister, like Slenderman or something.
I would say Jaws.
I really didn't like The Grinch, especially when I was younger. He really scared me.
Any movie that has zombies in it, I just absolutely hate zombies.
Like the aliens or whatever from I Am Legend.
Witch from Insidious. I was pretty young and my babysitter showed it to me.
Coraline, because she had the button eyes.
I don't watch scary movies, so I'd never put myself in that situation.
I don't usually watch scary movies.
Obviously, all the Scooby-Doo ones.
I have to agree with the one man when he said that Jaws scared him when I was really little. I was too scared to go into a swimming pool after watching that, and I still have a little phobia of that, but I've gotten over it, and I love sharks now, so we're on good terms.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with the people that said Chucky, because porcelain dolls, that's a no-go. It's just little creepy things.
I'm not afraid of dolls, but I also have a lot of siblings, so I kind of had to get used to the creepy dolls being around always.
I mean, speaking of things that are kind of interesting and weird, a newly discovered species of beetle was found to be so strong it could withstand being ran over by a car. Its name is the diabolical ironclad beetle, and its jigsaw-like shell could be the key to scientists finding a way to make stronger planes and buildings. Studies so far have proven the beetle to withstand the pecks from a bird's beak, being stomped by an animal, and even being ran over by a Toyota Camry. The ironclad beetle can withstand up to 39,000 times its own weight, which for a 200-pound man would be the equivalent of surviving a 7.8 million pound crush. How does nature come up with this?
I do not know. Where does this come from? Exactly. Where has it been? I have never heard of this.
Yeah, how are we just now finding out about this?
It's like so small. And
Ugh.
I don't understand, but be sure to pick up this week's issue of The Volant out today with a look into the groups promoting history and education for the LGBTQ community at USD.
That's all for Coyote News. Be sure to like us on Facebook as well as follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
And watch and listen for Coyote News daily updates throughout the week on KAOR and the Coyote News social media pages.
Thank you and have a great night.